This is this month in Teams for November, so I've got my fall theme going. My name is Tim Holman. I'm a project manager with Peters & Associates, and one of the areas I have been tasked with is to become the subject matter expert for Microsoft Teams, and that's a task that is a moving target because the Teams app is updated so frequently. So we came up with the This Month in Microsoft Teams series to look at functionality and features as they are added, and I try to add in tips and tricks where I can. So let's get started with what's new in Teams for November. Let's see, it's hard to move an animated slide. Oh, went too far. All right, so once again, we're using the go-to platform to present Teams for several reasons. One, we own it, we're licensed for it. When we started using it, Microsoft didn't have a registration process. Now they do with their new webinar type events. and finally, it's difficult to present Microsoft Teams using Microsoft Teams. So it may change in the future. For right now, this is the way we're doing it. So what's new for November is our topic for today. Our agenda is the same. I'm going to do a quick overview of Teams just in case anybody's new to the application. I'll talk about features that were added in the last month. A little different this time. I'm going to talk about some things kind of behind the scenes. I threw in some product information and some things that are coming up. And then I will demo the parts that I can. So quickly, just high-level overview from Microsoft, kind of the highlights of Teams. So imagine a world where you can have your meetings, your chat, calls, share files, not replace your email, but greatly reduce the number of emails, use applications like to-do lists, create dashboards, right? All in one application. I think a lot of people lose productivity jumping around between different applications. So imagine if you could do all that in one place. And that's really what Teams has provided. So a single hub, everything in one place. Just a few stats, and I update these when I see something new. This is really showing why we started this series. The popularity of Teams is just skyrocketed. I think COVID had a lot to do with it, but it's really taken off. Something I do update frequently. I haven't updated it this month. I'll probably do it if we continue this into next year. But it just shows how the features, it's 50 to 100 new features that are launched and rolling out each quarter. So it's a lot to stay on top of. Something new that I've added, and I did update this one, these are third-party apps that integrate with Teams. So last month was 1,100 and something, now it's over 1,200. So chances are if you have an app that you're using, you can find it in Teams. Something new that I found, so Gartner, a technology research and consulting company, Fortune named them the world's leading researcher and advisory company. They have recognized, this came out in October 2021. So they recognize Microsoft as the leader in United Communications as a Service and Meetings solution. So up here in the Magic Quadrant. So good to see that they're being recognized. It's not just Microsoft hype. All right. So here's our November update. Once again, this is intended to be just a high-level overview, not training. Training is something we offer. So if you're interested, let us know and we can do training for you. Things we're going to cover. So there's a new view switcher. I'm going to talk about a new piece of hardware, some kind of behind the scenes improvements, a real-time collaboration option, tips. So if your camera's not working, I've got a list of things that you can try to fix that. A new music mode that was introduced for Teams, cart. So Teams has AI-based transcription, which is pretty good, not 100%. You can actually use a service where a person can do real-time captioning for your meetings. And then a whole bunch of changes to the admin center. So here's the new view switcher. So when you're in a meeting, what they've done is pulled out, and you can see in this upper left corner, a new menu that lets you switch between the different options you have. And so right before this, I was in a meeting from Microsoft. They do half the meeting presentation, and then the second half is collaboration, and they let everybody turn their cameras on. And so you can switch into large gallery mode there and see everybody on the screen. And I think what has happened is because they've added so many features, the three-dot menu over here has gotten so crowded, they pulled this piece out. So make it a little easier to change your mode. Hardware. So I came across this and it really piqued my interest because it's basically a 5-in-1 device. It's a display, a camera, microphone, speakers, and lighting all in one device. So I did a quick kind of price check on Amazon. This runs in the $600 range. You could probably buy comparable pieces in the $500 range. The big difference there is that's 5 things you're going to have to plug in. This connects with one USB plug. So someone that does a lot of meetings at home, and they want to have a better experience, I think this would be a great solution. Laptop cameras are pretty crappy, and using the built-in speakers and microphone on your laptop just doesn't give a good experience. And then the lighting, it really improves how you look, and it just makes it a better experience. So, wireless phone charging thrown in as a bonus. So I thought that was pretty neat. So I thought I'd share that with everyone. So some behind the scenes thing that you're not going to see. It's not a setting, you can't click on it, but they've brought in a new codec for audio. And so even if your internet is bad, you should be able to hear other people and be heard. I've rarely experienced a meeting where there's been audio problems. Noise suppression, not new, but kind of fits into this category. And then video. Microsoft's continuing their use of AI to improve quality. So even in low bandwidth situations, you'll have a fairly decent video and your audio. So just to let you know. Live components. So this is one of those new things. And the way they're pitching it is it's an option in chat, and it's a new way to ideate, create, and make decisions together. So you can send a live component out in a chat, give you a table, I've listed them out here, task list, paragraph, and everyone in the chat can edit it in line. And the difference there is if you're trying to do this via chat, as new ideas come in, your chat message grows, and it becomes really difficult to pull that information together. So I've got a demo of what that would look like. And so I inserted a bulleted list into a chat. And so it could be 2 people, it could be a group of people, and you can build, so let's build the agenda for this month in Teams. And it'll scroll through your chat, but you can always go back to it or pin it. And then as people contribute to it, it's going to build right there in chat. So it kind of eliminates the need for additional meetings. So I mentioned this in the agenda, and it actually happened to me in my last presentation. I was using my webcam for the GoToMeeting, and I went to demo. I was using a separate camera, so that's what's weird, but it wouldn't let me. Teams would not let me use a separate camera because I was using a camera for a GoToMeeting. So things to check, if you're having camera problems. make sure it's enabled. You can go into your device manager and find the camera and make sure it's enabled. Close other applications that use camera. So that was my uh, ticket there. I stopped sharing my webcam in the GoToMeeting, and then it was available to me in Teams. Just go through your team settings and make sure you've got the right camera selected. So since I have two teams running on my computer, I have my main webcam on the one, and I had my second one on my demo account. You could always reinstall the application. You can download it right from Microsoft. Every time you go to join a meeting, when it opens the web, it asks you if you want to download. So download Teams and reinstall it. That might help. And then you can always update the driver. So a couple different ways to do that. You can just do updates on your computer. It might pick it up there, or you could go into device and check there. So something coming. So I'm sure you've seen Facebook is going to their new platform. It's going to be augmented reality. It's kind of the way things are going. And so Teams is throwing their hat in the ring. So coming soon, you're going to be able to create an avatar. And I know some people are uncomfortable being on camera. So you could create an avatar. It's going to track your eyes, so you'll have eye contact, expressions. And so it may be a way to get people more engaged in meetings. Thought it was interesting, so I thought I'd throw it in here. Something to look forward to, so you can be an avatar soon in Teams. High fidelity music mode. Not for everyone, but certainly has its application. I work with a group that's a choir group, so this could be something good for them. The demo I saw when I was preparing this, guy was playing his guitar and his banjo. So, for like music lessons, staying in that hybrid mode where you're not in person, having high fidelity for certain applications is going to be, I think a huge advantage. And so I'll show you how you go and turn that on, and then how to actually enable it when you're in the meeting. So you turn it on in settings, and then you get this new icon that'll show up. And when you click that, it's going to take a lot more bandwidth, and that's why you don't want it on for everything. But when you're going to do your music component, turn it on, and people have a better experience. And here is the communication. So CART is communication access real-time translation. And so it's a service, and what you need is to provide the person doing the captioning this URL. And so I'll show you how you can pull it up in a meeting. And then lastly, there's a new admin center for Teams. And so again, with all the features that have been added and functionality, they kind of reworked the whole admin center. Everything about users is in one place. There used to be an org-wide setting. That's gone. Those pieces have gone into their individual areas. So I have that. I can pull up and show you quickly. So that's my spiel part. Let's demo some of this stuff. So first thing I want to show is live components. And so what I did was I'm chatting with Grady, and I went down here to this icon, which is new. And what's interesting is it only shows up when I am in public preview. And so you see I have the little P up by my icon, something I showed last week. This shows that I am in the public preview. And so I can click on this, and I could insert a live component, a list, checklist, a task list. So if I had a list of things that we need to work on, I could pop that in there and we could check them off as we do them. So I did a bulleted list. So what I can do now is show you how I'll copy something here, go in as Grady and paste that in. And there it is. So you can see Grady has the file open. I just added another item to our agenda for this month in Teams. So it's nice, because that'll just stay right there in my chat window. We can build that agenda collaboratively. So now let's jump over to my calendar. I'll jump into a meeting. I have it all set up and ready to go. Mute myself. So a couple things I want to show here. Actually, I can show 3 things in one meeting. So you see, right, it's even telling me here's where you find all your view options. So again, this is only available right now in the public preview, which means it's rolling out soon. So it's in the upper left-hand corner. So if I click on that, I have these different options. One thing that's nice is the gallery at the top. And the intent there is it's making your focus where your camera is to make the meeting feel more interactive. So it's a good option if you have a lot of people using video. To put the gallery at the top, puts a bar across, and then your shared stuff is below. Let's see if I go under meeting options. So here is the cart captions. If I turn that off, I just want to save and show you how it would look. Just turn that on and hit save, and that's what generates the URL. And so you just copy this, and then you would send it to the person that's going to be doing the captioning. And then they will be able to do live captioning, not, the artificial intelligence kind of interpretation. So let me jump out real quick. I want to show you a setting. And so if I come under settings, under devices, and here's where you turn on the high fidelity music mode. Again, I think it's probably in beta, so it's in the preview. Still recommended to enable the echo canceling. Just going to make that experience even better. So now if I go back into that same meeting, mute myself. And now you see I have the enable high fidelity audio mode. And so when I click that, I'm muted. I mean, because it's a demo, but now it would start using more bandwidth and right, it's going to be sending more data, so you're going to have a better audio experience. That, oh, and then I want to just show you quickly the new admin center. Let's minimize that so it's not distracting. So they've grouped things much better. It's a lot easier to find things. So all your user information is in one area. Everything you want to find out about a Teams user, it's right here. Their policies, everything, right? Audio conferencing, phone license, all that stuff is right here. They've really enhanced this devices. So if you have rooms on Windows or rooms on Android or a panel phone display, all that information is grouped together here. It kind of used to be some was under meetings, some was under voice. So I really like the way they've grouped that stuff together. Reporting, so they've grouped all the different information here. So your quality dashboard. So I think they've done a great job of updating that and making it better. Not a ton of new stuff this month. I don't know if anyone has any questions. Didn't really show too much today. Again, coming up next month, this month. So later this month, we have This Month in Cyber, which is November 30th. Bruce has been doing that for years. So you want to stay up to date with what's going on, join there. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. And that is all I have for today. So a quick update on what was new in November for this month in Teams.